So Jackée was on Tia Mowry's show on We. Jackée, it was on Sister Sister with Tia and her sister Tamara Mowry and Tim Reed. And before that, she was on 227 playing Sandra with Marla Gibbs on 227. And Sandra was like one of those like characters like Kramer on Seinfeld or Lenny Swiggy on Laverne and Shirley. Like when that secondary character come in, the crowd goes wild. It was like you almost anticipate, man, where's Sandra at? So Jackée is really cool, man. I like Jackée. And then in recent years, she's on. I think she's still on Days of Our Lives. So she's had a good career, better career life than maybe a personal life. And because she's been divorced twice, I think, and things happen now. People go through stuff. I totally understand it. But so she was on Tia's show, and they were talking about Tia's marriage, and then now people are saying like, "Oh, well, Jackée gave a hint of what happened between Tia Mowry and Cory Hardrict," and it's like, did she, or was Jackée kind of projecting? Like Jackée was saying how it's hard to be in a relationship if you're a woman when you're making more money than the man, you're more successful than the man. She basically said how men's egos are fragile and all that stuff. Okay, listen, from a cultural standpoint, from centuries old, like guys feel like they're the head of the household, guys feel like they're the protector, guys feel like they should be in charge. Like that's a generational DNA type thing, right? So yes, it does not change. More women are making money, but I don't believe this narrative that all these men are jealous of their women. I swear the guy, like, yeah, are there a few dudes? Sure. I think dudes are okay with it if you don't throw it in their face. Like, oh, well, I'm the one paying the bills, or I'm doing this. Don't, like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, a guy's the dynamics is always kind of tricky anyway, because guys always feel like kind of proud, like he should be the one providing for the family. That's just in our DNA, right? But I think most dudes are okay with their women making money. Just don't throw it in our face. Don't treat us like a child, right? And I think some marriages, I've seen some marriages like that, and they work really well. In other marriages, you see what happened because you hear how they when they have fights, you see how the women kind of put down the dude. It's like that's not the way to go. But that's a whole different video. So I will listen to Jackée say this, and because Tia Mowry is crying again. It's so interesting. Like when she first filed for divorce, when she filed divorce and all that stuff, she left the marriage because it wasn't Cory. Cory did not want that divorce. Tia said, "I graduated from marriage." She was talking about growth and elevating and all that stuff, and she was very proud and very happy for graduating from her marriage. That was back in 2022. We fast forward 2 years later, and every other time I see a clip from this show, she's crying. She's crying because I think she misses her marriage. I think she misses her family. I think she misses what she had before because she's out here dating, and I think she quickly realized dating in your 20s in 2004 is totally different than dating in your 40s in 2024. And that's not just for Tia, that's for men too. Dating in 2024 is treacherous. God bless young folks to figure out how to date. Because if I'm in this age group, I don't know how you guys do it. Because it's so much now. Like I don't even know how you guys do it. So Tia I think she misses her marriage. I think she misses Cory. So here's the thing I want to do is talk about Cory Hardrict and the narrative that Tia was making all this money and Cory was just sitting home playing Xbox all day, right? So when they got married, I think they got married in 2008. Before they got married, Cory was on a show called Lincoln Heights. He was a recurring character on Lincoln Heights, and Tia was on The Game. The Game went from 2006 to 2012. They got married in 2008. During that time when she was on The Game, Cory kept on doing episodic work. He was always doing. Listen, it's hard to get a job in Hollywood, right? But he was always getting episodic work. A quick look on Wikipedia or IMDb will show you how much he's worth. So he was doing episodic work. The Game ends in 2012. Oh no, she leaves in 2012. She comes back in 2015. Cory is still doing episodic work. The Game stuff ends. She does TV movies. She has a show with Tia with her sister Tamara. And then something interesting happens in 2018. 2018, Cory gets a main role on a show called The Oath. That was 2018-19. 2019 and 2020, he was reoccurring on SWAT. In 2020 and 2021, he was reoccurring on The Chi. Now, listen, Cory's a good-looking dude. He's a tan brother. And if we talk about some of these shows, The Chi, SWAT, they like tan brothers. So I'm sure there was a stage where they probably asked Cory, "Hey, do you want a main role on here?" And most likely he said no, because Tia was doing a lot of Tia things with shows and TV movies, and someone had to be home with the kids because they got 2 kids. There's a reason why this dude cried when she broke up the family, because he loved being a dad. And there was an episode in her reality show when she drops off her kid, his daughter, to Cory, and her daughter says, "Oh, I love seeing Daddy." Yeah, because he was always around. He let Tia do what she wanted to do, and he took reoccurring jobs so he can be at home with the kids. Very admirable. You would think that most women would say, "Oh man, that's very cool," but So, but then 2022 happens. 2022. In 2019, Tia has a series, I think, called Family Reunion on Netflix. That goes from 2019 to 2022. It ends in October 2022. Cory, on 2021, has a guest spot on All American, the great show All American on the CW. And then he's cast as a main character on All American Homecoming, which ran from 2022 to 2024. It just got canceled. So his series started in February or March of 2022. Remember, I said Tia's show ended in October 2022. Also in October 2022, Tia filed for divorce. So this whole thing where some women would say, "Oh, well, after they got divorced, Cory started working. Now you got that Tyler Perry movie." Cory always worked. Cory always did episodic TV, but Tia wanted to do diva boss things, which is fine. So he let her do it while he just kind of did episodic work, and he was there with the kids. And then he had reoccurring work, but he was still with the kids. But once he got with All American Homecoming and his show started in the spring, you would think that Tia would say, "Okay, now you're working. You got this full-time gig now. My show is ending. We'll flip roles for a second. There's stuff I can still do. I could do maybe a reality thing, or I could do reoccurring stuff in the meantime. So you do your show. I'll be here with the kids for a little while. And then maybe I'd flip back and forth." You would think that would be the thing, right? Like, his show starts, her show ends. But she files for divorce. She graduated. So I hate this whole narrative that Cory all of a sudden was jealous of Tia. The only time Cory could have been jealous is when he was with her when she was on the game from 2006 to 2012. He could have been jealous back then. He didn't leave the marriage. He didn't file for divorce. When she went back to the game in 2015, he could have left then. He could have got a divorce. He did not file for divorce. He loved that chick. He loved his kids. He loved being a dad and a husband. She blew up that marriage. I'm not blaming her, right? Listen, if you're in a terrible marriage and and you're happy, he's not happy, you're not happy, the kids aren't happy, fine, get a divorce. I had no problem with it. But every time I'm seeing her cry, this is telling me she feels like she made a mistake. So when she talks to Jackée, and she has another friend that she talked to, and she kind of said the same thing. It's like, I kind of, maybe did I do the right thing getting divorced? And her friend said, no, you did the right thing. Listen, this is the days I miss my mom. I remember my mom 30 years ago talking to her female coworkers and talk about their marriage or the guys they dating. And I heard my mom give them solid advice. Well, go talk to him, right? Or if they're married, well, go see some, there's a counselor, stuff you guys can talk to. Like, don't leave your marriage unless you're absolutely sure. I heard my mom say this to people. Now today it's almost like, "Oh no, girl, we got girl trips. You can do your own thing. You have to listen to no man." And guess what? Everybody's single and miserable. The one thing that single women don't tell women who are getting divorced is they don't tell you the nights that they're lonely. They don't tell you the nights that they cry because they missed that husband or that ex-boyfriend that they missed because they really treated them well. And again, if you don't want to be in a relationship, that's fine. But if you got a family and it works and he's not a bad guy, we haven't heard anything about Cory cheating. We haven't heard anything about Cory taking her money. We haven't heard anything bad about Cory at all. Only way to know about Cory that during my research is that this dude worked all the time. He was home with the kids. And the minute he got a regular show again, she's out the door. So what say you? What do you think about Jackée? What do you think about Tia's show? Shout out to Tia Mowry. Shout out to Cory Hardrict. Shout out to the kids. I really hope they work it out long term.